What is up, everybody, and welcome back for another episode of the Giveaway Show. Man, we're excited that you're here, that you're hanging out with us tonight. Just another fun night to be able to hang out. And it's Father's Day week leading up to weekend. It's Father's Day. I know it's, Mother's Day and Father's Day are interesting because they're not always a cause for celebration. For some people, it can be, bring up some negative stuff for different reasons. Appreciation for those and heartfelt thoughts for those. For others, it's a celebration. For others, it's a new celebration. For others, it's a long time celebration. So it's all over the place. But we thought it would be fun tonight to take a look at comic book dads and some comic book dad storylines. And so I got plenty of articles and stuff opened up. I'd be remiss if I didn't very early on get to a quick shout out to a new dad, a new father who is a fantastic father for his little one, Tad Wood. Big Father's Day shout out to you because he's got a brand new little boy. And has just been loving life and enjoying and spending time with him. And that's an awesome thing. Some big firsts the past week or so. So shout out to Tad and to the rest of the Lone Star Heroes family. And they are our channel sponsors. So here's a quick word from them to check them out. But again, big shout out and big happy Father's Day to Tad. So check it out. What's up, everybody? It's Carl's Collects Comics here, and I want to take a second to tell you about a sponsor of this video, Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. And if you're looking for your next favorite comic shop, this is the spot. Tons of back issues, all the key books you could be looking for, a friendly and helpful staff, and 3 locations across the greater Houston area region: Lake Jackson, NASA, and Galveston. So make sure and check out Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. All right. So, hey, we're going to go ahead and get things kicked off and started, but I would be remiss if I did not bring in the day one, my ride or die, the big guy with the plan. Here he is, folks, Paul Comics.
All right. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Thank you, Carlos, for having me on. Me and Billy are here tonight. Happy Father's Day. I will shout out. So I lost my dad in 2020, but happy Father's Day to my dad. It'll be in July, be 5 years, but Emma said it perfectly. It hurts sometimes on those days, but I'll go and spend some time with them. And I appreciate everybody being here, guys. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And happy Father's Day to Carlos, Ted, everybody out there that's a father. Even you, Wolverado. Ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah, thank you all for being here. Hit the like button, share it out, and thank you guys for showing up tonight. We'll see what Carlos has in store tonight. But Superman movie is dropping tomorrow, Friday, so hopefully y'all will see a video.
It's coming out.
Maybe a live stream or a video of us going, and you'll see how disformed it is, and how we barely make it to the movie theater, and hopefully we don't get kicked out.
Wait, hang on. What do you mean it's dropping tomorrow?
Yeah, the Thursday they start showing tomorrow.
It's not. No, it's July. It's what? July 11th.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
No, tomorrow is June 12th.
Oh, it is.
They just started selling tickets. They're not showing it.
July. Oh, okay. I thought it was. I thought it was tomorrow.
No. It's coming up. No, so there's part of the confusion, I think. So Amazon Prime is doing a thing where Amazon Prime members can buy tickets
early. Okay.
Early screening. And I don't know. I thought about it, but I was like, no. I was like, I want to see it with like the major crowd, And then I think it's probably.
Okay. I didn't know it was July 11th. I thought it was already.
Yeah, it's July, and the tickets have gone on sale. but
Okay.
but yeah, it's not opening yet. And so no, so I probably will take these guys to go see it. But yeah, it's July 11th, and then 2 weeks later.
My bad. I guess I was into my dad's thing. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Future Batman, man, what are you doing? You got to be on here. Anyway,
Future Batman, where are you? What are you doing? And where are you?
Question mark.
All right. I don't know. I don't know. I texted him and said, "Where are you guys?" And he's. I don't know what they're.
Oh, he said the link. It's in the bio.
It's in the group chat.
Yeah. He's in the back cave. Oh. Yeah, it is. That's how I got on here. It's in our backstage.
Y'all were dropping. Yes, it's there. Y'all dropped all those videos, but remember, I always drop the links for the shows on like Sundays at the latest.
You gotta scroll up.
You gotta scroll way up. But y'all were just dumping all kinds of stuff in there.
Oh, okay. Because I was ready.
Okay, so so the deal is so July 11th is Superman. I've got Superman books in the giveaway show box for that, and then Fantastic Four is coming out. I've got a stack of Fantastic Four books that are going to be given away. So yeah, so.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. No, yeah, it's like the link is like so far up there because the group chat was very active the past couple days, so it's there. It's just crazy high up in the thing. So these guys haven't.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna try to scroll all the way back up to here. It is, and then
July. Yes.
Here you go. All right. Okay. So tonight it's the Father's Day episode, and like different people have expressed, it is a different. It's one of those holidays that's going to have all kinds of different reactions. It's been 15 years this past January since my father passed away, and it's like y'all said. There's still moments when it feels very fresh, but then it's kind of like you're living life, and then there's moments when it kind of feels fresh. But then it's different because it kind of like turns a page, and you like turn a page, and now with kids of my own, there's all kinds of different emotions coming. What's up, Future Batman?
Future Batman, happy Father's Day, good buddy.
Happy Father's Day, buddy.
Happy Father's Day, guys.
So, but yeah, it's Obsessed with Horror. What's up? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Hashtag Father's Day. Yeah. Hashtag Father's Day for your chance to win. I got to dig through here and find the giveaway book, first giveaway book for tonight. El Green Machine says 30 years for me, and I think of him all the time still. That's true. It's definitely, it's one of those interesting. And I'll tell you, one of the other ones that happens is when your child moves out, right? I was just talking. I went to a graduation party for a buddy. He and I have been friends since high school, and now his youngest son is 18 and just graduated high school this month. So he's going to be leaving and going to college. And he was like, that's a whole different thing. I said, it's okay, man. You're going to go sit. There's going to be times when you're going to go sit in his room and you're just going to cry. And that's okay.
I just want to say, Avron, man, we got to talk when you come back, man, because there's no way you're a military guy and that room looked like that, man.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Paul got a chance to see my children's, all three of their rooms. The entire house looked like a demilitarized zone. It was a mess. But, yeah, so the girls were very embarrassed about their messy rooms. And
girls, we got to talk about that, too.
Yeah, they know that Mr. Paul is going to come inspect.
Yeah, how do you get a stuffed animal on the fan? Still scratch my head.
They have way too many stuffed animals. Way too many. Well, hey, we're glad that everybody is here, that you're hanging out with us, and we're looking forward to seeing you. Couple of quick things. Let me show off. Okay, so last night on the episode of Carlos and Friends, El Green Machine requested one, so bam, here it is. And I didn't even realize it. It is the David Nakayama. This is David Nakayama cover. The A cover is David Nakayama. So it's a Spider-Girl #1. It hit newsstands today. A big shout out to One Star Heroes Comics and Toys. Then also, I think El Green Machine also asked for this one. I didn't think I'd be able to get it.
Scotty Young?
No, well, yeah, it's a Scotty Young.
Yeah.
Iron Man. I think this is it, El Green. Tell me if this is it, buddy, because I think that's the other one that you liked, that you're looking for. Also, for another channel member who has a fixation with the Queen of Weather, came across this beautiful cover by for Giant Size X-Men #1. This variant, beautiful variant by Ivan.
El Green said that was the right book.
Yeah, so this one is also going into a channel member box. It is not for me. A couple of books that I mentioned last night that were my picks for this week. Robin and Batman, Jason Todd. So this I thought just looked like a really interesting story that launched this week. So I wanted to point it out. This is the A cover. And out of all the variants, I did say, this was the cover I liked the most. So snagged this book as well. I'm looking forward to reading it because this is kind of like a Jason Todd, and it's like a Robin and Batman Jason Todd year 1 story. So that's kind of I thought it was an interesting one. And this was one that I pre-ordered a while back. I don't even know if people knew it was coming out. Star Wars. This is the new Star Wars title. This is issue #2, and this is an action figure variant. So I thought this one was too cool to pass up. So I got this.
That's for a channel member?
No, that one's for me.
Yeah, I figured that was. I figured that wasn't going nowhere. Yep.
It's not. It's really not. And then I don't know. There was a couple of other ones. This is one that came in the mail. I just thought I wanted to show this one. This is G.I. Joe #255 from the IDW run. I guess it's the cover A, but it's labeled as being the John Royal variant.
Oh, okay.
I loved it. Because it's
armor.
It's like J. Scott Campbell.
Oh,
right?
Okay. For a channel member?
No, this is mine. This is me.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't going nowhere.
This is for mine. And actually, I don't know. Paul, what do you think, man? Because it is Father's Day, right?
Yeah, I knew that one wasn't going nowhere. I knew that.
What do you? No, I'm asking. What do you think, Paul? Should this be a giveaway or what? What do you think?
I don't know. What do y'all want, chat? Do y'all want it?
Oh, do you want it, chat?
You will get a personal collection book from Carlos.
You're about to snatch it out of my hands. And okay, I'm looking here for other Father's Day appropriate books.
Uh-oh.
Got a lot here. I don't know. I mean, do you think, are the True Believers books a big deal, Paul? Are they a big deal?
Which one?
The True Believers books?
Yeah, I mean, people collect True Believers when they can't get the original. They get.
But are they a cool prize though?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. Do you think?
Yeah.
You think they are?
What do you think, Future Batman?
Future Batman, what do you think?
Yeah.
For true believers.
Yeah.
Like, is this a cool giveaway?
Yeah. If you can't get the original, man.
It's a nice giveaway. I mean, it just depends on the person. We'll see. Maybe if you have a couple of them and have somebody choose.
What if this goes with it?
Yeah.
And then this one too.
Oh, okay. All right.
So what if
those are like?
I mean, they don't all fit together, but that's okay.
What are you talking about? They don't all fit together. They're all
different stories.
War Journal on its own is a really good one.
Tell me, do you like it? Does it look like a good giveaway or one good giveaway? I have a lot more books in here.
El Green says you give so much, Carlos. You should keep for your
I'm
piece.
okay with that. All right, here's another Father's Day best book. Mandalorian #1.
Oh, okay, yeah. There you go.
Well, all right. We'll I don't know. We'll do something with it. But hashtag Father's Day is how you enter to win. I'm going to keep this up here until a channel member takes it. This is the 1 in 50 Sins of Sinister #1, graciously provided by Wolverado.
Wow.
Let's see. None of these are really like father-esque themes. Father-esque themed books.
Oh yeah. The first Lobo? Nah, that ain't a father-esque book. Yeah, that's a perfect book.
It's not a father's.
Look how fast you get the hands off of there, guys. God.
You're so full of it.
He was like, all that away. It's still here.
It's
still there when I got there. God.
He just snatched his hand away from that one.
I think the Batman and Robin was a pretty good book to give away.
Yeah, that's a fatherly book. Yeah, I agree with
that book.
Because it's a fatherly book. He's teaching Jason. That's a good one for you, Batman.
It is. All right, so people keep on getting. Vader was Father of the Year until he chopped off Luke's hand. That's correct. That's correct. El Green Machine says that for the Vader book, it's until
he did kill himself. He killed himself because he got in front of the Emperor, so he wouldn't kill Luke.
Yeah, from far away, doesn't it look like a real action figure?
Yeah, it looked like a real action figure.
From far away?
Yeah, that's what El Green said. It looks like a real action figure.
You do that with it, and you're like, whoa, wait a second. All right, I don't know. I may have two lots there, a Punisher and a Darth Vader, a very dark father kind of thing. All right, let me do some shout-outs real quick to the chat. Let's see who's we got in here. Obsessed with Horror, what's up? New viewer, I think. Good to see you. Glad that you're here hanging out with us. If you're somebody that we know, by all means, let me know. El Green Machine, good evening, everybody. Australian AC says, good day, mate. Glad to hear you. Here it is, folks. Hashtag Father's Day for your chance to win. David Spider-Man Dotson is dropping in, saying hi to everybody. Good to see you, man. Evan Dudley hanging out with us late night also. El Green Machine dropping in to be with us. Wolverado as well. Emma Dudley says, be sure to hit that like button. Thank you, Emma Dudley, for the reminder. Three Good Nerds dropping in. Our channel member, good to see you. Remember, channel members, Carlos and friends, next week's episode, 2 giveaways. We'll be doing 2 giveaways on Carlos and friends to make up. I did not have a giveaway book ready last night. This has been a very busy week as I'm doing a lot of onboarding stuff, plus the girls are in day camp and a bunch of other stuff going on. But it's all good stuff. Good stuff. I just homeowners associations. We're going to make a video about homeowners associations at some point because I'm very aggravated with them. I don't know what I paid them for, and they make us pay a lot. All right, three good nerds, everybody here. Joffrey Castro, good to see you. Emma Dudley saying Mother's Day and Father's Day is hard because both parents are gone, but I celebrate my brothers and son-in-law. That is that is good. That is good. And I like we were talking about earlier, I do definitely understand that. So yeah, it can be a hard day sometimes. David Spiderman Dodson says my wife lost her mom and dad 1 week apart from each other. She just remembers the good times. It's correct. You do. All the kind of chaff fades away, and you're left with just those really strong, memorable moments. Let's see. Three good nerds also saying that holidays can be hard. Melody short music. Good to see you. That's cool. Glad that you're here. Wolverado, thanks, Paul. Glad to see you honoring your father's memory. Daryl Cersei dropping in hashtag Father's Day. There is the future Batman in the chat. Horror again. El Green Machine says 30 years for me, and I think of him all the time still. See that. Obsessed with Horror, good to see you as well. Glad that you're here. Thank you very much. Yes, right on. That Giants X-Men #1 is awesome. It is awesome. Donald Duck is my favorite character. Hey, Emma. From far away, it looks like it's a real action figure. Yes, that's true. Let's see. Master Splinter, best father. Yeah, hey, he was. He was a very good father. All right, we're going to get into some of that. If I'm selecting that book, is Dawn. Love Mando. Barry Garcia. Looking good, Carlos. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Folks, man, I nerd out whenever we have big name film people drop in. Man, now I'm going to be nervous. Barry Garcia, the Emmy Award-winning cinematographer, is with us tonight watching. So, Barry, man, wow, good to have you.
And you Jonathan can pick a better camera.
The what?
You couldn't pick a better camera?
Paul, don't. Not tonight. Please don't. If Barry's watching, don't. I'm shocked that Barry is watching right now. I'm like, wow. Okay. All right. Daryl Cersei says, what's up, Carlson, Paul, and the whole chat. Good to see you, buddy. Glad that you're here. All right, everybody. Those are the shouts out. Evidently, Barry has good taste. He does. He's very good at what he does. He's very good at what he does. One of the most genuine, coolest guys in filmmaking. So, always helpful. Always helpful. And shout out to Nanlite. Nanlite manufactures video and film production lighting equipment. I have Nanlite here and in the studio, the bigger studio that we're constructing. It's all Nanlite, all powered by Nanlite. So shout out to them for the almost 20 people that are watching. All right, so let's keep it moving along here, fellas. Okay, so fellas, we're going to be talking about Father's Day, and then we're going to do some giveaways here. I'm looking for something good here, or some more good stuff that I can give away. Got a crazy... so many books here. This is the point when I've just got so much going on. Just too much. Almost too much. All right. Okay. So we've got a couple of articles that are here that I wanted us to take a look at. Stop it.
I'm not going to look at Jen. He's literally like
Joe, the future back. That's called the candy angle. All right, so we've got 20 comic dads that would make. Let's start with the bad and go to the good from there. So 20 comic book dads that would make.
Hold on, is this the same article that did the moms?
No, this is
okay.
This is all the bad fathers.
I can't do it.
Okay, here we go. All right, 20. Let's see. This is what it's called. 20 comic dads that would make anyone wish they were orphaned. It's harsh.
Okay.
I know. That's very harsh. Okay.
All right,
Let's take a look at it.
Okay. We're starting off with Batman.
No. Number 20 on the list, Deathstroke. Slade Wilson. So he had he had Joseph and Rose Wilson Joseph got killed, and Rose Wilson was constantly getting dragged into fights with her son, her dad. All right, Norman Osborn. What do you think, Paul? Good or bad?
I think he was a good. He was a good dad because Harry followed in his footsteps. I mean, that's what you want your son to do. You know, you want your son in the family business. So he was doing Oscorp, and then he became the Green Goblin. So yeah, I say he's a good dad.
All right, Jen. What do you think?
Think about what? Harry Osborn or Norman Osborn?
Norman Osborn is a good dad.
Well, Norman Osborn is a true villain. So, as a father, he's. I mean, if you look at like the movies, the comics, you look at everything. You look at Kraven the Hunter, right? You look at Chameleon. You look at Batman. Norman Osborn is like a really selfish person. He doesn't care about his son. He only cares about his own agenda.
Yeah.
He's a terrible dad, but I'm sure there's worse dads than him. I will say this, that at least he cares enough about his son to pass the Green Goblin, I guess, identity or the serum off to Harry. But I think he also does it because he knows that they're blood. I mean, but I don't know. He's a true villain. I'll say that. He's definitely a true villain, and not like something accidental, like like Venom or something like that, where he's like an anti-hero. Like even as a Dark Avenger, he had his own agendas. He treated Harry like crap. So I don't know. I would say he's a terrible dad. Yeah.
I don't know what Future Batman is saying. I think he's a good dad. Like Cole said, the Red Goblin is his grandson, so he kept the Goblin thing going. That's good.
They have a dysfunctional family. That's not my problem. That's the writers writing the way that they write. I mean, I wouldn't. I love my son. I wouldn't treat my son like the way he treats his. I would not. I would not want him to be following in my footsteps if I was a Green Goblin. If I was like that evil, why would I want that curse on my kid? And that's what makes him a shitty dad, is that he doesn't care about his son. He only cares about himself. So that's my take on it, man. I don't care about. He's a true villain. Like I said, he kills Gwen Stacy, responsible of that. He torments Peter, even the aunt. I mean, we can go down a whole list of things that Norman Osborn has done, and it's for his own selfish behavior and his own needs, his agenda. Yeah, so it is what it is. Who's next?
All right. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, we got definitely some good ones coming into the chat. Chat, we're going to get to you in just a second. Number 18, Wolverine. What Wolverine? Good or bad dad? Wolverine.
I think I would say he's a bad dad. He's never there for the. He's got a bunch of them.
I mean,
how many kids?
You can't. How can
he denied it?
How can Wolverine be a good dad when his son doesn't even allow him to be a father? I mean, Daken is one of the worst written characters in I don't know, in modern comics. I mean, what has Daken done recently? The last good run that Daken had was in Dark Avengers?
Was he he's Wolverine right now? Ain't he?
I mean, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't read
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Blvd says Wolvie was just an absent dad. Most of his kiddos are clones he didn't know about.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
so real quick here, it says this is an interesting point. Wolverine is a better father figure than he is a direct father. He's mentored for young mutants like Jubilee and Kitty Pryde, and has proven numerous times over the years that he is indeed a loving, caring individual. That's an interesting point. I wouldn't have expected to see him on this list, though.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah, to me, he's a bad dad.
But even that close up. But...
Number 17, Brian Banner. So Bruce Banner's father. Bad dad, yes or no?
I mean, how much context does his story have? Like, he has a few issues here and there. I mean, he's an alcoholic, right? Or something like that.
They said it was his abusive behavior that first pushed Bruce towards a negative emotional state. Well, yeah, he was an alcoholic.
Okay.
And he never wanted to be a father. So, wow, this is dark.
Maybe
Brian became viciously
anonymous. You know, maybe he needs some AA classes. You know,
one beating was doubly severe, and Brian accidentally killed his wife.
Yeah, that Ang Lee movie was down to a T.
Was it really?
The Ang Lee, the Hulk movie, the movie that Ang Lee did, the original Hulk movie with Eric Bana, that was a pretty good interpretation of Bruce's dad. So I mean, they had that spot on, that's for sure. So the only thing I didn't agree with was that they turned him into Molecular Man or whatever. What was that thing called? Like the guy that turns into everything.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he was this terrible.
Oh yeah, he's a terrible person, but but it's not. I think it's because of his mental health.
Looks like in Peter David's Incredible Hulk #1 from July of '97, Bruce fights back against his abusive father and does kill him. So that I didn't know that much of the Hulk.
Dotson saying, "Are you sure this is not the dad one?"
Yeah, it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. It is a bad dad.
No, David Dotson. This is fathers that would make you wish you were an orphan.
Damn.
So these are all bad dads. But I'm surprised that Wolverine is on here.
Because I mean, he was even when he found out. Omni-Man. Yeah, that was
okay. Yeah, Omni-Man. So Omni-Man is essentially Superman, and it asks the question: what would happen if Superman had a son, and then it was revealed that he had actually come to Earth to take over the Earth, but then his son stands against him, and it's excellent. It's an excellent story. So highly recommend it if you haven't read it yet. And they do, he does eventually come around, but it's like just soul crushing to watch what happens. I'm not going to give away much more than that. Number 15 on the list is Trigon. This was Raven's. Raven.
I disagree with that.
You don't think he's a bad?
Yeah, he's actually not. He's very overprotective of his daughter. Yeah, I think he's a little overboard at times. Like, but if you read the 2006 Titans run, where she's trying to figure out like her powers and everything, he keeps involving himself in her life. He kind of ruins her relationships, which is what a typical over obsessed father who's trying to protect his daughter would do. Yeah, but he's also very evil. So if you're playing the part of overprotective Mephisto, because that's technically what Trigon is, he's like a DC's Mephisto.
I hadn't thought of that one. That's a good.
And the thing is that he does love his daughter. He just has a really odd and demonic way of showing it because he's the devil. So
just to bleed dark, he helps him out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is that you're saying it says fathers that make you wish
you were orphan.
that you didn't have a dad or you did have a dad. So if Trigon was my dad, it would be terrifying. But at the same time, I would also probably walk around like I own everything. Because if I need something, I just go, "Hey, Dad, this dude's like, and he would show up." So I mean, you're saying, dads, but it doesn't say bad dads. It just says dads that are either terrifying, maybe. I mean, think about all the people they've shown so far. You have Green Goblin. He's terrifying, right? I mean, he'll stalk your aunt, Say it again, like, he'll stalk your aunt. Trigon here, he's demonic, right? You got Wolverine, he's made out of adamantium. You're going through a whole list of...
He's a drunk.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. This one we got to get to. Okay, we got to get moving on it. Okay, so this next one, guys, this one's a real debate right here. Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. Good dad or bad dad?
I think he's. I think he did his best for what it was in the comics. So
didn't he set up people to get killed?
He did a lot.
Yeah,
he did some evil stuff in there in the books.
Well, he did some stuff that was debatable, right? He did stuff that you can use the excuse like I was protecting my family, but did you really have to do that? No, you didn't really have to do that.
You didn't have to do that, but I guess he did that to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought he was. I didn't think he was a bad dad.
No, he's not.
I thought he was put into impossible situation after impossible situation, and I mean, what happened was probably what was going to happen.
So how far did you guys read The Walking Dead?
I did not.
So if you read The Walking Dead like towards the end,
I'm not. Do not give. Yeah.
So Carl develops a very strong relationship with Negan. They have kind of like a nephew-uncle type of relationship, but Carl starts understanding that his dad is actually the weak one in like the role of leadership. Because when he sees that Negan is doing the things that he's doing, he sees that there's a necessary evil. And like there's necessary good and then there's necessary evil. And he sees that Negan did the stuff that he did to actually control a ungoverned society. So so Carl develops this huge respect for Negan, and he actually doesn't respect his father towards the end of the comic. So those that have actually read the comics, you'll see. My only thing is that the show has kind of tarnished these characters in my eyes. Like the actor wanted to go to school, so they killed off the character Carl in the TV series. They shouldn't have never done that because he didn't die in the comics. If the kid wants to go to school, you could have just left him in the background somewhere and then pick it up later. Look at all the stuff they've done with the Walking Dead universe now. They have so many spin-off shows, and even one of them is based around Negan, and one's based off of the made-up character. What's his name? Daryl. One's made up. One's based off of him. So, but yeah, I would say Rick is kind of like in a gray area. He's not a terrible dad, but he's not a great dad either. He's just kind of like, you put like a question mark next to him. Like, do I want to be around that guy when shit's going down? Probably not. He'll put my life in danger. So
the Rick one is an interesting one for them including it on here. Same as Wolverine. Let's take a look. Okay, Magneto. This is another complicated one. I find that the longer their history, the more complicated they are. So Magneto, what do y'all think? Good dad, bad dad?
Well, he took care of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Yeah.
I would say he's a good dad.
They're not even his kids anymore. So
Well, not in. Well,
No, I mean, I'm just saying in the recent comics, Quicksilver and Wanda are not his kids anymore. I think Hickman clarified that, Robert Hickman, when he did all those X-Men reboots, they made that non-canon. So I don't even think that they're his kids anymore. So what do you mean, dad? Because you mean a fatherly role? I mean, he's a terrible. His 90s version makes him a terrible dad. I think his early 2000s, like 2010, I think Magneto was right. I think that's what the signs were saying in the comic books. Because you actually started seeing that Magneto was more like Charles, and Charles had turned into kind of like Magneto. And he was sending all these X-Men off to these suicide missions, and Magneto was like, they're still they're still people. And you were sending your own children off into these suicide missions. So Magneto turned into almost like this savior for like the mutants. I don't know.
He's always hated humanity. I guess if you're a mutant, then he would be a good father figure because he's wanting to protect the mutants versus the humans.
Like, I like Magneto. Don't get me wrong.
Charles is like he wants to save the humans, and whatever they're doing is okay. But Magneto's like, nah, we need to show them we're the mutants and we're the stronger ones.
Oh shit! Not the Charles that they have now. The Charles that you see in the comics now is a complex character.
Yeah, but he's Onslaught though.
So real quick, let's go into the chat and see what the chat is saying here. All right, so Dagger Card says it's how you deal with the situation and the cards you're dealt. Very true. Green Machine before that said with the situation they're in, Rick was a good father. Three Good Nerds says Rick is also really mentally broken. He watched his kid get shot in the face. He gets his hand cut off. He sees his friends get killed over and over again. Negan was mentally stronger because he had less to lose. Nice. Very well. Very succinct. Very well put together. Glad that you're here, Justin. Let's see. And then let's scroll on to the next one. Roy Harper. Now, I don't know that I didn't feel like he was a bad father.
Well, remember, never said bad fathers. It said fathers that would make you not want to have a dad.
Yeah. So remember, he used to be Speedy. So he used to be the one that did have a drug addiction, and then he had a romantic fling with Cheshire, the assassin, and so together their relationship gave birth to Lynn, his daughter. So he's had to do what he could to keep her safe. This is his later history, like his more recent history, I'm not as familiar with. They're saying that Prometheus ripped off Roy's arm and he destroyed the house that Leon was in, crushing her in the process. Leon was wiped from the DC universe during the New 52 initiative and still hasn't appeared in Rebirth, meaning that the Roy audiences are currently following is likely still not a father. Hopefully, if this version of Roy does end up having a daughter, he'll be more protective and be better equipped to take care of himself and Leon.
Yeah, that's not his fault, though. That's just...
he's a good dad because...
he's a super... I thought he was a good dad.
Yeah, he's a good dad because that girl was not his kid, so taking care of her, that was a good thing.
Watch his words.
That was his kid.
No,
all right. Okay. All right, Hulk. Number 11 on the list is Hulk.
Oh.
So remember, Hulk gave birth to Scar, and there's another one. What's the other one's name here? I don't remember what the other one's name is.
Ra's al Ghul. That's gonna be a good one.
Sierra. Wait, no, he fathered a child. So Scar is the son. I didn't think Hulk was a bad dad, though. I think he was on an alien world and he linked with an alien warrior.
He's not a bad dad, but he's not a great dad either.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I mean, for sure, he has anger.
He was never there for him, so
Well,
only
there's
to Hulk
different.
out and beat him up. I mean, that's not.
Well, there's different variants of the Hulk. There's like Demon Hulk. There's Savage Hulk. And then in the new Hulk comic book, it's explained why he has different versions and why he's able to contain them and why sometimes he's not able to. They basically took the concept of that movie Split, and they've turned Hulk into kind of like this beast from that movie. So he can use different personalities. So he can be Demon Hulk, he can be Savage Hulk, he can be Mr. Joe Fix-It, and so forth. Because those are all different personalities and personas that live within him. So I think he's a pretty okay dad, because when his planet had the stuff that happened to it, when the Illuminati shot that ray and it killed off like his people, and he thought his family was dead, he showed up as World War Hulk. He showed up as Earthbreaker Hulk or World Breaker Hulk, and he went on a revenge trip trying to avenge his family. And I mean, that's something that, someone that's really hurt, that means that he did love his son, he did love his wife, he did love his family at some point. But that's the thing, it's really weird. They do that, but then they go back to 10 years later, it's like he doesn't give a shit. It's like, why do all these things and now all of a sudden you don't care?
He totally forgets.
Yeah, it's like, you did that for me,
I feel
Dad.
bad for Scar, man. No wonder Scar is always upset.
Yeah, he's like, Dad, why can't you be like World War Hulk?
Ra's al Ghul is number 10 on the list.
Yeah, he was a good dad in my eyes. Talia did good, and then Damien came out good. I mean, yeah, he did good.
Yeah, well, Ra's al Ghul is...
And then he brought back Jason Todd because Carlos was crying for a little while.
Yeah, I think that's...
Lazarus pit, and there he is. He was a good guy. Good father right
there. I guess. I mean, he's in a gray area too. I mean,
look, Jason Todd was gone, and he brought him back.
If Ra's al Ghul was my grandfather, I think I'd be okay.
So Ra's al Ghul.
That's what I just said.
I think I'd be all right. I mean, I wouldn't.
What are you talking about?
I'd be like, Grandpa Ra's? Yes. He's like, can I use your Lazarus pit? No, you can't. There's too many things going on in there.
You just sneak in and use it anyway.
Number 9 on the list, Odin, king and leader of the Norse gods.
Yeah, Odin's a bad dad for me. He should have let Loki have the hammer, and I don't know what the hell he was thinking. But Thor was not worthy, and then he knew about it twice. We already figured out he wasn't worthy. I don't know.
Well, Odin is a bad dad, and he's just a bad person.
No, he's just a bad dad, man.
Galactus
gave Loki the hammer.
Let's just put it this way: when Galactus showed up to Earth, when they were having the frost giant fights, I can't remember which arc it was, but Galactus shows up and he's like, "Hey, you have this little this element that can make my hunger go away. It could save like thousands upon millions of lives, planets. If you give me this little herb, I'll eat it and my hunger will go away." Odin's like, "No, biatch, I'm not going to give you shit." And he ends up like not giving him that, and it causes more problems. It causes more problems for Earth. It causes more problems for everybody else because Odin just didn't want to do it. Odin is just a really selfish character. But
Silver Surfer 4, he lets the Silver Surfer just beat up on Thor. He's just looking, and then they destroy the Rainbow Bridge. I'm like, what are you doing? You got to go in there and get your stuff.
All I'm saying, Paul, is I agree with you. Odin is just...
Yeah, he's a bad dad.
All right. Let's see who's next. Sabretooth. Remember, I didn't even know Sabretooth was dad.
Oh, yeah, Wolverine's his son. I forgot, right?
No, Wolverine is not his son.
Or who is it? Deadpool?
Daredevil? He had a child with Mystique. And
oh, yeah, he did.
Graydon Creed. And he grew up to become an anti-mutant terrorist.
Anti-mutant terrorist.
What was his name? Graydon or something?
Graydon Creed.
Yeah, Graydon Creed. Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah, but they did the DNA test. That's Magneto's son, so yeah, he doesn't count.
is it? I don't know. I don't know about that.
Wow. I didn't even know he was a dad, but yeah, he's a pretty terrible.
I don't remember him being a dad.
Hi, Father, part of Jack Kirby's epic Fourth World concept at DC.
Wasn't
Isaiah
that what Darkseid's
is leader of the New Gods and one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe. Let's see. Unfortunately, all the good High Father and his fellow New Gods have achieved doesn't take away from the fact that he's a cold father. To avoid war with Darkseid and his evil forces on Apocalypse, the two rulers agreed to exchange their heirs as hostages. Darkseid sent his son Orion, while High Father sent over Scott Free, later known as Mr. Miracle. Oh, okay.
I thought Darkseid was his son. I think.
Wow. Okay. So that's terrible. He gave up his father.
And that's Superman's real dad too. Yeah.
Darkseid, closest thing to evil personified in the DC universe. Darkseid's the ruler. Okay.
They're just over exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, Darkseid is a really
he was a good dad because Apocalypse and then all and Granny Goodness, all them. Yeah, easy.
The thing is that version of Darkseid you're seeing in the picture, that's just an avatar. That's not even what Darkseid looks like. He looks like a Doomsday box. But anyways, if Darkseid was my dad, I probably wouldn't want one. So I'm just
look at Apocalypse. You get to rule the.
I mean, I can name 5 guys that they were my dad. I'd be like, I don't want to meet them.
Yeah, he was a good dad.
Darkseid, Apocalypse, Sinister,
Darkseid's
Thanos. He'd probably, just very abusive. I mean, there's a few. Odin. I mean,
Supergirl went with them. I mean, he was a good dad. Yeah.
He turned Supergirl into a slave.
She wanted to be that.
Nah, she wasn't. Yeah, he manipulated her.
So, I think the big thing here is talking about his son Calabac, and about how he's his disdain for him and how Calabac cannot earn his love. So that's the worst kind
because he keeps failing him all the time.
All right, the pride from Runaways. Okay, so this is a really well done storyline.
Wow, all those are dads? Holy crap!
And so it's it's a good solid story, and it's really cool that young heroes find out that their parents are supervillains, and they're part of the Marvel universe, but at the same time they're kind of a little bit different. And so the parents are completely evil, and they do end up killing one of the runaways. I'm not going to give the name, but yeah, it's a pretty dark story. I thought it was really well done. It did get dark though. Cyclops, what? Bad dad. Scott Summers, one of the original.
Yeah, look how Cable turned out. Yeah, he's a bad dad. I agree with that.
Yeah, but this isn't a bad dad's list. It's if you had a father that you knew that this was your father, you probably don't want this person to be your father.
Yeah, Cable's like he doesn't consider him his dad. Yep.
Cyclops is the only X-Men character that has fought alongside with almost everybody. As much as people give him a lot of hate, he's actually the most respected.
Yeah, but what you're saying, Cable doesn't respect him as a dad.
Yeah, but even with Cable, I mean, Cable's not perfect either.
I mean, look how they have Cable. I mean, what the hell? You got him in the stomach? It's just too crazy to me.
I don't think he deserves the bad rap. I think there's some modern stuff. It was like about just deconstructing fathers in the Marvel universe that maybe did this, but classically, traditionally, I don't think he's a bad father. Reed Richards.
He's on the list. Wow.
Why are some of these guys on it? See, that's the thing. I think kind of the Marvel, the modern.
I mean, if you read X-Men versus Fantastic Four, what happens to Franklin Richard in there? Probably is.
This is what it is. Part of the modern Marvel kind of mindset is to deconstruct fathers. So I think part of why some of these modern storylines with some of these characters have gone so far off base is because I think, like Reed Richards, distracted maybe, but not bad. Yeah, there's probably some modern storylines that make it appear that way, but yeah, no, him and Scott Summers are both I thought solid dads.
I give you Reed Richards, but not Cyclops.
I think Cyclops is good, but again, it's if it's stories from the past 15 to 20 years, those I kind of set those aside, because of kind of what they were trying to do with them. But I think the classic stories, I think, yeah, they're strong. Let's see. Okay, to Azazel. Okay, now he probably gets belong on here. All right, Azazel, the father of he's the father of Nightcrawler. We
Not anymore.
Well, not. Oh, did he get retconned?
No, that's what I'm saying. They all retconned all these things. This list is whoever came up with this list is not keeping up with comics. They came up with this last year or about a year and a half ago, but apparently Mystique turned into a dude and smashed some women, and that's how they had Nightcrawler. Now, that's what it is. I'm telling you, they're pushing that agenda. It's not a Dazzle anymore.
If you would listen,
and some other woman. That is a man now. Or
I knew you wouldn't let me down, buddy. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
What I was saying was that the list is from 2018, so it's not capable of addressing modern storylines.
Man.
So
we just addressed it. Thank you, future Batman.
It's an all over the place list to begin with because it is comic book resources, but it looked like a fun one when I looked it over, so I decided to bring it in and see what kind of discussion fodder it gave us. All right, number one on the list. Why Batman? Why?
I agree with that. He's a bad dad. Look at what happened to Jason Todd and Damian and who was the Robin before Damian?
Dad's list. I think it's a irresponsible dad's list, or this person was my dad.
So you have a son, and you're like, hey, let's go crime fighting where villains can kill you.
This is the irresponsible dad's list.
Yeah, this is an irresponsible dad's list.
Bad dad, man.
All right, let's jump to the top 10 dads in comics. This is the good list. Here, let's go to the good list. All right, here we go.
Let's go.
All right. So number 10 on the list, top 10 dads in comics. This is from, when is this from though? There's no date on this one. I don't know.
It's fine. We'll just go with it.
All right, number 10.
We'll update it real quick.
Ogami from Lone Wolf and Cub. If y'all read
I don't agree with that. He should be off the list. The way he just deserts the kid. No, I don't agree with that.
He's carrying the kid in the winter.
Yeah, right now.
Man, look,
he's debatable.
He's a good dad.
No coat.
You just see one little image and you're just brainwashed.
Okay. This story showcases the powerful bond between father and son, the wolf and his cub. When the child turns 1, Igamo Itu gives his son Diagoro a choice between a ball and a sword. The child chooses the sword and is drawn to the path of the lordless samurai, a ronin. Diagoro outlives his father and takes what his father has taught him in order to end the violence between warring clans at the conclusion of the epic saga. Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't read it, but it looks kind of cool. I've heard good things.
Yep.
Number 2 on the list, Marco from Saga. Yes. I haven't read Saga either.
Saga's good, man.
From what I understood, I never even knew this happened. Okay.
Marco's a Reed soldier whose fatherhood was considered a war crime. After eloping with Alana, a soldier from the opposite side of the war, the pair had a daughter named Hazel, who truly represents their star-crossed love. Hazel has her father's horns and her mother's wings. Okay, so he was trying to. I like this last line. As the series is narrated by Hazel, we see her father for what he truly is. Not a superhero, but a man trying his best in a senseless world. I like that. I like that.
I have nothing to say about this. No, I didn't read it.
I didn't either.
Horrible.
You know who his daughter is, right?
What? Rick Grimes. We just did that.
Rick Grimes.
He shouldn't even be on this list.
He's on the top 10 dads in comics, as well as the top 20
this is crap.
comic dads that would make, that would make you wish you were an orphan. That's what the previous article was. That 20 comic dads that would make anyone wish they were orphans. All right, Rick Grimes, The Walking Dead. Okay, so I think Rick Grimes,
he made both lists.
Justin did a good job of bringing this one up. So here we go. Yeah, 7.
Come on.
Yes, he is a good dad. He was a dad.
Who is it, Dick Grayson?
Jason. Yeah, it's Dick Grayson.
He fell with Jason Todd. He sure as hell fell with Damien, and then what's his the other one?
I don't think Bruce Wayne should be on the great dads list. Period.
Yeah, he should be off.
Like I know people like Batman, but he's a terrible dad.
Yeah.
He doesn't belong on a bad dad list, but he doesn't belong on a good dad list either. He doesn't belong as a father figure to begin with. He puts every kid in danger.
Who's the other Robin after Jason?
I think he's good, because here's the thing.
Oh, Tim Drake. He went off the rails.
Dick Grayson. Just listen. Dick Grayson was going to go after the killers of his parents. He was going to do that. Like, if you read back, he was going to go after them. All Batman did was come alongside him and say, I'm going to teach you how to do it justly. So it's justice and not vengeance, which there's a difference. And he said, I'm going to train you so that you don't get killed trying to do it. So I think, and then he actually legally adopted Dick Grayson.
Yeah, that's fine, but
when Tim Drake's father died, he took Tim Drake in also, and then the same for Todd, and the same for Damian Wayne. We're
not saying that, but we're saying that his track record is
his track record is crap.
Well,
Stephanie Brown died. Thank you, Cole.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say too.
Brown died. Todd died.
Yep.
Dick Grayson left
Tim
him.
Drake. He tries to be Batman Beyond.
Damian Wayne does not respect him at all.
I still think he's good. I think he's in a horrible world. I think he's in a terrible world. Okay, because if you think about it, I think he took care of these different kids, but he lives in a jacked up world that.
I'm sorry, if you take your son crime fighting, you're just asking for trouble. So I don't agree with that.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's a great dad, man. If he wasn't rich, things would be much harder for him. So, the fact that he's born into money and he's able to do these things for kids, that's great.
It was a completely different association, El Green Machine.
I don't know. I wouldn't put him on that.
All right, so here we go. Three Good Nerds says, LOL, Rick made both lists. What is up with this list? Wolverado says, perhaps Hazel's father is really Azazel because it rhymes.
Oh, man, that's a good one. I gave you that one.
This list was done by a different association. C. Cole is not a Batman fan either. Stephanie Brown died. Duke Thomas's parents got gassed. If he wasn't Batman, he'd be a great father. Interesting.
Boom! Right there. That's it.
That's not even true.
If he wasn't Batman.
That's I don't know. That could be valid. That could be
valid. It's like Bruce Wayne.
Batman, they wouldn't have died.
No. He'd be worse.
I don't know, man.
There wouldn't be any missions for them to go on and get killed.
Let's keep moving. Luke Cage in Marvel Comics.
Yes.
Is Luke Cage a good dad or a bad dad?
Yes, he's a great dad. Luke Cage is one of the greatest dads, actually.
Wait, hang on. You think Luke Cage is a great dad? But
have you read like the 2006 comics where Squirrel Girl is like babysitting their kids?
No,
Like I'm talking about how overprotective he is of his family. Like, so Luke Cage is a straight up gangster, right? The guy goes on the streets and he can get practically whatever he wants. He puts his entire world at risk for not wearing a mask. But if you look at all the things from that comic line from 2006 all the way to like 2009, whenever they had that soft reboot,
so real quick, we need to do our first giveaway. No, but Wolverado, best comment of the night. If he adapted all the Robins, wouldn't they all be Lil Wayne's? And then Three Good Nerds says, "Yay!" Said by Lil Jon. All right, at least we see his kid who becomes Thor and Captain America in various futures. Okay, yeah, Luke Cage's kid. I don't know about all that. So, okay. All right, Jonathan Kent from DC Comics.
I don't know. I think to me he was a bad dad. He should have just kept him away from learning his true identity. Getting him killed by Doomsday. So yeah, that was reckless.
Get out of here.
What are you talking about?
Jonathan,
I disagree. He's Kryptonian. I'm like, hey man, you took a little. I dropped you when you were a kid.
I agree with you, man. I think Jonathan Kent is a great dad. I think he's.
I think he kept him away from being a everyday man. He wouldn't have died in the hands of Doomsday.
Paul,
good dad.
You're okay. Three Good Nerds says, I can't wait to see the Joker show up on this Father of the Year list.
I'll be fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, now here's why can't, yeah, Dagger Card says, why am I so strong, Dad?
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan should be, that's right, he should be number one. Who in the world is that? Who else is on this list? Jonathan Kent.
I agree.
He shouldn't even be on the list.
Okay, well, let's see what the other ones are, and then
we should have kept him away from being Superman.
Jonathan,
look how he's holding his hand on there. He looks scared.
He should be at least 2 or 1. All right, Scott Lang. What?
Are you kidding me?
That's actually Scott Lang is actually a pretty good dad in the.
He isn't. Look what he did to
No, he actually is. You got to read the comics, man. I mean, he's a pretty good dad.
Lang?
Yeah,
he's a good dad, but he's not as good as Jonathan Kent.
No, he's not as good as Jonathan, but
he's not even as good as Luke Cage.
No, well, Luke Cage has a lot of. You have to understand, man. You have to read that run with the Squirrel Girl. You have to see what Luke Cage does for his family. He's a hardworking man. Like, you got to go back and read that stuff. I'm starting to question how much Luke Cage.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Like, I'm glad they put Luke Cage on here because he's not just a good dad, but he's actually a good husband too.
This was written by you, Carlos. I'm just having a funny feeling.
I didn't write this list.
Yeah, it sounds like
number 3 on the list. Big B Wolf from Fable.
Yeah, Fables.
I haven't read this.
I don't know about that. I don't know anything about this.
The Telltales.
But looking at the picture, I don't see how he's a good dad. He's got different kids.
I played the video game for that one. It was pretty good.
I mean, all those are his kids. Holy crap!
So yeah. I would probably put him.
Why did you just pick up 2 of them?
That high, but at least I would call this the more responsible dad's list than good dad's list.
No, they said this is the dad of the year right here.
I can see Big B Wolf being on the.
I've never read this.
List, like number 8 or 9, but not number.
List.
He doesn't beat Jonathan Kent and Scott Lang.
Jonathan Kent should be off of this list. I don't even know why he's on.
All right, number 2 on the list, Ben Parker from Marvel Comics. Okay, so Uncle Ben does need to be in the top 3, but I still say Jonathan Kent is in the top 3.
I agree with this one.
Uncle Ben should
trying to keep Spider-Man.
I'm sorry, but you only see Uncle Ben in like what, 1 issue? And then he gets popped. I mean, the heck are you talking about putting Uncle Ben?
Man, he was a good father figure. He was trying to. He told
straight up bugging
Parker not to become Spider-Man. That it was not a good thing to become.
You got to do one at a time. You got to do one at a time. It's too chaotic. You got to do one at a time. All right, Jim, did you want to finish?
No, I was gonna say Uncle Ben should not be this high. Period. There's not enough context to his character aside from the same old baloney about responsibility and this and that and power and all that crap. I mean, he says one line and y'all guys remember with great power comes great responsibility. That's all y'all remember. He didn't have anything other than that to do with that kid's life. And then the kid was responsible for getting his butt shot.
What
so
are you
he
talking
should be like
about?
number 9 on the list. Or 8.
He raised Peter Parker.
Well, you only have one issue, Carlos, of him.
It's not about the volume of content. It's about look at how the kid turned out.
We don't know if
Right.
Uncle Ben was a great. It wasn't even a great uncle. I mean, all we know is that one issue that you read. That's it. And Peter stuck on the past. Aunt May, Uncle Ben.
Okay.
One more day, brand new day. It's all BS.
Paul, go.
All right. So what Carlos is saying is the legacy or the teaching that you teach your kids. So he was trying to keep him away from being Spider-Man and teaching him how to be a grown, taking care of yourself, taking care of him. And I think he should be number 1. Peter took it and ran with it. He died and then he became Spider-Man. So yeah, I give it to him. Great dad, left a legacy with Peter Parker. So yeah.
So Uncle Ben knew he was Spider-Man?
Yeah, he tried to keep him from not being Spider-Man. Great power comes great responsibility.
Let's keep it moving. All right, number 1 on the list is Alfred Pennyworth.
Yes. What? Yes, that's a good pick.
All right. Described as Batman's Batman, Pennyworth is many things to our hero, including a butler, housekeeper, best friend, legal guardian, and surrogate father figure. For a hero like the Dark Knight, it is vital that Alfred serves as a spot of brightness, providing comic relief and a moral anchor for Bruce Wayne in the ever-dangerous landscape of Gotham City. It's always been Alfred who's provided comfort and support to an orphan in need of a protective, loving presence in his life. And of course, he provides Batman with the assurance and trust he needs in order to protect Gotham and all the DC universe. I've seen this referred to before, that Alfred is really the father figure for Bruce Wayne, and I think that's more of a modern take on it. But I think it's accurate because Alfred essentially raised him because Bruce Wayne was orphaned at such a young age, and you constantly over the years see Alfred stepping in to try to care for him. Like, I think one of the best things was during Nightfall when Alfred told him that he said, they were fighting about how Batman was obsessively pushing himself to capture all the villains that Bane let loose. And Alfred finally, the only way he could demonstrate to Bruce Wayne how far off course he was, he told him, I have to leave because I won't stand here and watch you destroy yourself. And then, the Nightwing was the one who went and got him and brought him back later on in a one-shot. But yeah, I think, Alfred Pennyworth definitely in the top 3, I think.
Yeah, top 3. Yeah.
Jim, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. If I was to have a list of a top 5 or whatever, or top 3, I would put Jonathan Kent as number 1. I would put Alfred Pennyworth as number 2. I would probably put after him, I would probably have to choose between. I'm gonna have to. After him, I would probably put Eddie Brock up there, man. Because Eddie Brock has had so much content as of lately of just being a dad. Most of his stories have just been about him protecting Dylan. He's even fought Dylan in like the current runs. So they haven't been like the greatest stories because Dylan has to deal with the symbiote and having to share that with his dad and how that manipulates his dad's brain and stuff. But his dad sacrificed himself to try to save Dylan. He actually dies in that run. And then of course, the symbiote brings him back and says, "Hey, this is my gift to you."
That's really good. That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah, the whole King in Black. I mean, Ben Parker is definitely a top 10. I think they have him real high on the list. I mean, Spider-Man and the person that he becomes, the character that he is mostly because of Aunt May. She has to kind of, remember Aunt May has to take care of him after high school. Everything you're reading right now is Aunt May and her influences on Peter. You talk about Ben Parker, we're not talking about Ben Parker. Ben Parker has been gone. All right, we're talking about, if you're talking about great dads and we're dissecting that, then I would say
I could see that. I could see, and here's the thing. Yeah, when you brought up Eddie Brock, I was kind of like, okay, that makes sense, because you're right that and one of the things with both of these lists, these are older lists, but I thought they were cool because they're all over the place and they bring in like independent stuff also. But yeah, you're right. Neither of them. Well, no, the good one didn't go into Eddie Brock at all, because Dylan didn't even exist at that point.
I don't like getting like real weird and emotional during comics when I'm reading them. But I remember I got like all teary-eyed because there's this scene where Eddie Brock is sitting at a diner with Peter Parker, and Peter's like, "Why do you want to meet up? Like, what's going on? You've never done this before." He's like, "Something's happening." It's like the Cosmic Carnage story arc, the Absolute Carnage. They're coming after Eddie Brock and they're going to kill him or whatever, and so he's going to have to fight Carnage. So he tells Peter, he says, "If anything happens to me, I need you to promise me something." And he's like, "Okay." And he's like, "I need you to take care of Dylan." And he's like, "Okay." So he's like, "I don't get this. You've never talked to me like this before. Who's this kid?" He's like, I'm going to trust you enough to let you know that this is my son. And Peter's like, "You have a son?" He's like, "You? Like, what's going, like, so he's like, "Well, the fact that Eddie has matured, he's gone through all these things, from pushing him in front of a train to being a villain or a super villain to an anti-hero. And he's gone through the whole Vegeta thing, right? For Dragon Ball. He's actually a family guy. He's even that when you first see Dylan in comics, when Anne brings Dylan to Eddie Brock and he's like, "I don't know what I'm going to do with this kid." He's holding this little kid in his hands. And I'm just like, holy crap, this is going to get good. Like, Donny Cates can write really well if he knows what he's doing with certain characters. And I think that's one character that made me really, it surprised me, because Venom is not my favorite character, but I think reading this comic with my wife, Wolf will tell me, she'll go, "Hey, look, like, this happened in the comics. Like, this is a really good story." And I'll be like, "Oh, wow." And then I read this and I said, "Oh, man, even the maker, who is that?" And then you see Eddie, he kind of grabs Dylan and he puts him behind him. "Don't worry about him. Worry about me. Don't worry about that kid. Oh, that's your son." Maker is like thinking, "Oh man, I can utilize this. I can blackmail him. I can do all these things to him." But yeah, when I read more on the Eddie Brock thing, I was like, "Oh, he's such an overprotective good dad. Like, he's got to be in my top 3. Definitely in my top 3."
So, Paul, what are your thoughts?
All right.
What do you think about like the top 3?
So Alfred, I don't agree with Alfred because he was the butler. In Bruce Wayne's eyes, he'll never be his dad. He'll probably reminisce on what his dad's values and stuff of him growing up. Now, yeah, he can take his place, but as you see, like, stepfathers, and you hear it all the time from the kids, "You're not my dad. You're not this. You're not that." So to me, I think Uncle Ben, every time you see Spider-Man fight, you'll see him like reminisce with Uncle Ben. So that's why I put him over Alfred. Alfred could be a good dad to Batman, but in the long run, he's not really his dad. So I don't really count him as one of the top guys on there. So yeah, that's my take on it.
What would your top 3 be?
What?
Yeah, I mean, what would your
Yeah,
top?
would you keep the top 3 and the best dads, or would you change them out? Maybe?
Like, what would your top 3 be?
I think I would put Uncle Ben. I'd put Bruce Wayne's dad, and then I'd put Eddie Brock, because I agree with Jen what he was saying. He was really protecting Dylan, really wanting to be with his son, but then had to sacrifice to fight him, because I guess what he became. Who did he become? He didn't become. Damn, I'm trying to think of the name. Codex.
Yeah. He fights all these.
I agree with Jen on that one.
That comic I haven't.
Disclosing it to Spider-Man. That was because he kept it hush hush for a long time.
Yeah, he did, and it's crazy that whole thing with him and Peter, that diner scene is so beautiful. It's just he opens up to Peter. He's never opened up to Peter, and he's like, "This is my son. I don't trust anyone else with my family. I only trust you." You know? And he's like, but we've been like, he's like, no, that's in the past, man. I only trust you. So you got to promise me, something happens to me, you got to take care of my kid, man. And then Peter's like, oh, you know how all these thought bubbles are going through his head. Like, wow, I didn't know that he felt this way about me. Like, I didn't know that, you know, like this guy's hated me, tried to kill me at one point, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, Donnie Cates, you like, you know, this is a home run out of the park, man. This is good writing. This is good stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff. It makes you like realize that there's this happens, man. It happens in real life too, where something happens, someone gets into trouble, or you see people get incarcerated. You know, you see stuff, man. And but the thing is that Eddie Brock, the character development that has happened with Eddie in the last 7 years is what has I think it hasn't happened with any other real character. You've seen Superman. I think you can even add Superman sort of to the list, right? Him trying to raise John Kent, even with him coming out and what he tells them, like, hey, I'll love you for even, I don't care if you're gay or you're bi or this and that. Even with Superman, right? Like, they've even changed his persona on how he wants. Because remember when Superman was introduced to Superboy, which was like he had to be a father figure to him, and Superman was like this the entire time, like, ugh. like you're my clone. You didn't want anything to do with him, but yeah,
so we can do this. We still haven't done a giveaway yet.
Yeah, 3 Good Nerds hit it right on the money. That's what I meant. Employer.
There's only 13 entries. So, hey, if you haven't entered yet, hashtag Father's Day for a chance to win. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I was going through it. So I have a massive stack of True Believers books, and I'm gonna let somebody choose 3 from them. These at one point, some of these are going for like $10 or more, but I don't think these are all near mint. But I've got a massive stack of them, including Punisher 1, Punisher War Journal 1, the first appearance of Punisher, Amazing Spider-Man 1, first appearance of Daredevil, first appearance of the Thunderbolts, first Black Panther, first Luke Cage, first Nova. This is a what if Kraven had killed Spider-Man, and then a first Taskmaster. So I'll let somebody choose 3 of them for this first giveaway, and then we'll see. Because I've got some other books here also for a giveaway. All right, so let's go ahead and let me go and run this. Where was Homelander? I don't think he might. Well, he might not have been popular because remember the comic book came out a while back, and then the show really drove him up into the upper echelons of popularity. Okay, so we got 15 entries. Hashtag Father's Day. Your chance to win. You're going to get to pick 3 Then we'll do a second giveaway almost immediately after this. Thanks to everybody for viewing tonight, and big shout out to Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys for continuing to support and sponsor the channel. All right, let's go ahead and roll it. Good luck, everybody. In 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right. Let's see what we got. And
El Green.
El Green Machine is the El Green Machine, of course, because remember channel members, you can choose you can choose to upgrade. So El Green Machine, if you do not want to choose 3 of these, you can take the Sins of, I know you mentioned you wanted it, you can take the Sins of Sinister number 1 if you want, or you can choose 3 of these. Let me know which one you want. I'm guessing you're going to want the variant. Remember, it's the Sins of Sinister number 1, 1 in 50. Generously provided by, okay, he's going to take the Sins. All right. Good move, El Green. So this is Sins of Sinister number 1. Big shout out to Wolverado for his AOK. This was one of the books that he sent in. Also, big shout out to Dotson for his AOK as well. We've used that as giveaways. Also, so El Green, nice little pickup for you, buddy. We're going to do our next giveaway in just a couple minutes. All right, so here's a question for the panel and for those in the question for the panel and a question for you in the chat. What is one lesson from a father to a son in comics? It can be any kind of a lesson. Obviously we all know that with great power comes great responsibility. What is one lesson that you would want to pass on to a son or daughter? It's got to be a comic book lesson, something from one of the comic books. It can be a story about a father and son. It doesn't have to be. It could be something that impacted you as a young person, and you would want to pass it on. But yeah, it's I'm opening that up to both the chat and the panel. One comic story or one lesson from a comic story or character that you would want to pass on to your children. And so I'll give everybody a chance to think about that, chew on it, and comment. Oh no. Okay, see, Cole didn't even have to think twice. Don't marry a mutant. Ask T'Challa. All right, that's
saying what lesson or what character you'd want to pass off to your son?
No. What lesson learned from a comic character or story would you want to pass on to your child? So, like in your case, it would be.
There's one. I hope my kid ends up liking the character as much as I do. But one of my favorite characters of all time is Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, because he's the only character that I've felt like went from like a super villain to to just a villain, or kind of like a egotistic villain, and then eventually to an anti-hero, and then from an anti-hero to a kind of like a guy that's kind of an outcast to a team once he comes, and then working his way from being part of that team to being a friend and kind of like a buddy to Goku, who I think is like the worst father. Like if you are going to actually put a person in the worst fathers list, Goku would be the #1 worst father of all time.
Oh, wow.
He's never there, right? Like really think about it. He's never there. Vegeta, on the other hand, has always been there for Trunks. And he's also hard on him, which is why Trunks is always leveling up so fast. Even future Trunks and so forth, right? But yeah, I would say that Vegeta, he's probably one of my favorite characters of like all time. I never thought I'd ever say that. I'm always like this Batman guy, or I like Superman or whatever. But Vegeta has had so much character development. I've read the manga. He's ultra ego right now, and I saw, I think what made it really, I guess, impactful was when he became selfless, I guess, in the Buu saga, when he told Trunks, he says, hey, I've been chasing after this dream, to compete against Goku or whatever, right? He's telling Trunks, hey, in the manga and everything, and then in the TV series, it's much different. He just punches Trunks, and he's like, he looks over at Goten, and he's like, take my son away from this scene. You two go as further back, because he self explodes. He does self-destruction to try to save the planet. And I think that's when you realize that this character isn't a bad guy anymore. He's a good guy now. And that carries on, because even in the manga right now, he gives part of his life source, his energy, to Goku. During a fight, he's like, out of the two of us, I've come to a realization that you're much stronger than me. And he's like, here's my energy. Use that for your spirit bomb to take out, this person or whatever, this antagonist. I think his name is Boro. I think it's Boro or Toro. He's like the guy with the ram. Looks like a ram. Then eventually he grows from that. He tells Goku, I keep competing with you. Now I have to go off and I got to do my own thing. And then eventually he starts becoming the god of destruction and so forth. And then eventually ultra ego. And now he's actually stronger than Goku. He takes hits and he can regenerate during the battles. But if you look at Vegeta's character, he went from a supervillain to a father figure. And not just a father figure to Trunks and being a good dad, but even a kid he meets on the platform, during one of the fights, he tells the kid, he's like, I want to be a Super Saiyan. How do you become a Super Saiyan? And then he grabs this kid and he says, I'm going to find your planet and I'm going to blow it up, right? And then he makes this kid completely cry, and he rages out and he turns into a Super Saiyan. He's like, that's it. You understand now how to do it. But can you continue to do it? And then you see in the manga right now, he's teaching that kid to be a better person, not to be like how he was, not to be like how his father was with him. But he's truly the most grown character in any literature that I've probably ever read. I mean, and the crazy thing is, Akira Toriyama hated the character. He didn't want him to be better than Goku. But he has such a strong following. Everybody loves Vegeta. And I've become such a huge fan. I never thought I would. I never thought I'd say Vegeta would be that person that my kid, I hope, says oh man, he's so cool. He's such a badass. Because I'd give all my things to my kid. I'd be like, hey, here's Vegeta. Here's this. I have every single Vegeta pop, every statue. He's one of my top things, man. That's one thing I go after. If it's Vegeta, I'll get it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul, how about you? Any particular lesson?
Yeah, so I would tell my kids, don't be like Jonathan Kent. Don't try to. If you have superpowers, you will never know it from me, because he dies in the hands of Doomsday. So yeah, that's all I want.
All right, there you go. You heard it. Hey, we're gonna go to the chat real quick and see some of the folks because there's been several that have dropped stuff in here. C. Cole says, "Don't marry a mutant." Ask T'Challa. We looked at that earlier. Dagger Card says, "Make sure she has money," as my dad always said. Right. Trading Card Collector says, "Does a lesson from movies count? I'm not into comic books." Well, we appreciate you being here anyway. Yes, of course. Go ahead and drop a lesson in. Remember, these are lessons that you learned from a comic book or comic book character that you want to pass on to your child. Wolverado says, "Be the best there is at what you do, even if what you do isn't very nice." All right, I like that. C. Cole says, "Don't marry a Titan. Ask Terry Long. Bumblebee is the exception since she married a fellow Titan." El Green Machine says, "Don't believe everything you hear. That would be one of mine if I had kids." See, Cole says, if someone from a school for mutants comes to your house, do not open the door. Ask the new X-Men Academy kids. All right, all right, I've only begun reading the comics, but Professor Broom's general message of being a good person and doing the best you can. All right. I believe there's good in everyone. Okay. All right. Always do. Oh, this is a good one. This is about integrity right here. Always do good, even if no one is watching. All right. Paul would have turned Superman into child services. I don't know. We'll see. Future Batman says, fresh out of the factory with no warranty and already broken. For sure, L Green Machine. All right. Give it 110% for sure. Man, when I think about it, there are a ton of things. I think one of the cool things, I'll pick out Superman. And I don't necessarily have a specific issue, but one of his things is to stand for what's right, even when it's not popular, and that's a big thing that I talk to my kids about. I tell them one thing I say is, if they don't get a certain position or something, I say, well, I'd rather have a child with the character of a team captain than the title of a team captain. So there's just a couple of things there. El Green Machine, get the Hulk laughs. All right. So nice, good to have y'all with us for this special Father's Day. Let's go ahead and do the second giveaway. This one, winner will get to choose 3 of these because I've still got all of them. El Green Machine grabbed the channel member giveaway. So let's take a look and let's go ahead and run this one more time. Again, big shout out to channel sponsor Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. Remember, we'll be live this Friday. Another episode of Comics on Demand. That is our live stream sales show that we do. So we hope that you're able to be here with us. It'll go live at 6 p.m. Central. We'd love for you to be there and check out some of the books. We got tons of cool books to sell. I want you to go ahead and enter to win #FathersAssemble for your chance to win this next one. There we go. All right. Hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. We'll do this one final giveaway here. So remember, #FathersAssemble for your chance to win. Okay, I already see this popping in. Let's see. Let's go back to the. Let's see. Emma Dudley says, "I'll be watching Comics on Demand." Good to see you when you hang out and are watching with us. Let's see. All right, variety trading card collector / horror movie assemble. Thanks for viewing tonight. Glad that you are hanging out with us. Yeah, good to see you hanging out in the chat. Remember, if you haven't joined the channel yet, please consider doing so. Also, I picked one of these or picked some of these up. Dropping one of these in a channel members box. Knows who he is because he's a fan. Green Lantern. These little ID card things have been pretty cool. They've been dropping them. I've seen several different characters. I also snagged Green Arrow and Supergirl. So these are kind of cool. I'm going to drop some of these into some boxes here. All right. Good stuff. All right, let's go ahead. Okay, so #FathersAssemble. Make sure that you drop it in for your chance to win. Looks like we got 12 entries. I'm going to go ahead and run it in just a minute. So make sure that you have added, that you've dropped your name in it for your chance to win. It'll be the top. You get to choose 3 of these True Believers reprints. Again, like I said, I don't know what their values are right now, but at one point they were going for like $10 a piece because they were the first. They were some of the first reprints that were being done, but they are of course there's facsimiles and foil facsimiles now, They were originally $1, but let's see. If you don't have them, it might be cool for you to pick them up and enjoy them. All right, well, I'll give it just another second, and then I'm going to go ahead and run the giveaway. Remember, hashtag fathers assemble. It's plural. C. Cole, fathers, not father, fathers assemble. I want to make sure that you get it. Okay, Dagger Cards, doing something different there. All right, this quote from the 1990 TMNT movie really hits home for me. Anger clouds the mind, turned inward, it is an unconquerable enemy. Okay, that was a really good movie. I love that movie. I remember my father, speaking of fathers, took us to go see it at a movie theater that is no longer there. It was a movie theater a long, long time ago. You got to do the hashtag fathers assemble for C. Cole. Hashtag fathers assemble. Got to do, yeah, there you go. He got it. All right. Hashtag fathers assemble for your chance to win. There we go. I see them popping up. All right, we're going to go ahead and run the giveaway. You'll get to pick the top 3, or you get to pick your 3 out of the list, or out of the stack I've got here. Good luck to everybody. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see who the lucky winner is. And David Spider-Man Dotson. All right. Congratulations, David Dotson. Congratulations, buddy. These are fun. These are fun books. So I've got, like I said, I've got a stack here. You get to pick 3. Tony Stank, I think you just missed it. So it's Avengers, or this is first Taskmaster. I've got What If Kraven the Hunter had killed Spider-Man. I've got the first Nova. I've got first Luke Cage. Got first Black Panther. First Thunderbolts. First Daredevil. Amazing Spider-Man #1. First Punisher. Punisher War Journal #1. And then, last but not least, Punisher Limited Series #1. So these True Believer reprints, a lot of fun books. So David Dotson, tell me in the comments which 3 you'd like, and I will pull those 3 and put them on the stack for you. Everybody else, thanks so much for watching tonight and for being here, for hanging out with us. This episode, again, ran long, but Producer Weapon X is I'm sure he's going to have much to say after this. So let's see. Okay, so David Dotson. All right, he says Avengers, Punisher 1, and Daredevil. Okay, so I'm going to do Punisher 1 for you. I'm going to do first Daredevil, and then the Avengers was the first Taskmaster. So I'm going to pull those 3 for you. All the rest of these are going back in the giveaway box. Maybe we'll do this again. If y'all like this, let me know, channel members. Let me know if you like these being in the giveaway pile. So David Dotson, these 3 are for you. And I'm going to put these aside. Congratulations to you. And again, thanks to everybody else for being here tonight to watch and hang out and chill with us. Much appreciated to see all of y'all. Let me give final thoughts. What if next week? Maybe so. All right, I do have some actual first run what ifs that I can drop in there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and do final thoughts and shout outs. Future Batman, final thoughts and shout outs.
All right, guys. For those that are dads and, you guys, maybe no one said this to you today or maybe, throughout the rest of the year. But, hey, happy Father's Day, and thanks for doing everything that you're doing, man, because we all do that for a purpose, whether you're doing the whole family thing and taking care of the family, or you're raising a kid on your own, or, you know, dealing with, you know, weekends or whatever. I don't know your situation, but you know, if no one said this to you, you know, thank you, and thank you for doing you, you know. So happy Father's Day, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right. Very cool. All right, Paul.
All right, like I said, thanks Carlos for having me on. Thank you to the channel members. And I said earlier, happy Father's Day to everybody. And yeah, we'll see y'all on Comics on Demand. And yep, hit the like button, share it out, guys. And thank you.
Awesome. All right, folks. Hey, thanks again to all of you for watching tonight. And, you know, happy Father's Day to those who are living out fatherhood right now, whether you are an actual father, whether you are you know, a father figure, grandfather, uncle, trusted person in the life of a child of any age. You know, everybody is important and everybody is necessary. So thank you for what you do. For those who this weekend is going to be bittersweet or sad or even bring up hurtful memories, you know, may you experience peace this weekend, and may you make it through the weekend with as little hurt or ill feeling as possible. Thanks again for watching tonight. This has been Carl Collects Comics with the crew for another episode of the giveaway show, as we are rocketing towards the season finale for season 7. I can't believe it's been 7 seasons, 164-ish episodes. Crazy how long the
When are
show
we doing that?
The season, yeah, it'll be at the end, towards the end of July. It's going to be when it will be the end of season 7. Before we wrap the season, though, we're going to be doing special episodes for. We'll be doing a special Superman episode for the debut of that new movie. We'll be doing a special episode for the debut. I think for the debut of the Fantastic Four. I need to check the dates. The movie may debut after we wrap for the season. So, but I do have a stack of Fantastic Four books to give away just for that. I also have a stack of Superman books to give away for that as well. So, lots of cool stuff coming down the pipe. And channel members, remember we talked about a couple of ideas and threw those out. So channel members, make sure to watch. I think now it's called the discussion tab on YouTube. They give it's a discussion tab. So make sure that you check that out. If you're a channel member, I'm going to be dropping some questions on there for y'all, some polls for you to do, and then also for the same for the rest. It is posts. It's under posts. It's now a posts section, and so it's not called community anymore. It's just called posts. So you can check that section for a couple of polls that I'm going to drop. But for myself, the group here, and for everybody else, have a as happy as possible Father's Day weekend, and we hope that we get to see you on Friday night, Comics on Demand, and again next weekend or next week for the episodes Carlson Friends, giveaway show, and Comics on Demand. Y'all take care, have a great night, and we will see you next time.